see.
Okay, so we just found that a deer has been rubbing this tree. You can see it right there.
Yeah. And then we're gonna act like a deer with those antlers up here in a little bit. If we can make it. But we're almost there.
Yep.
We're almost to the top. We are checking out our view. We're gonna start looking around.
Staying close to the trees.
Yeah. The big mountain out there. You can't hunt that anymore. Somebody bought it, and it used to be a timber company that they allowed you access to it, but it's all gated off now. It says private property, no hunting and all that stuff. So that was a really good area to hike out on, but not anymore. So we're gonna figure out our boundary over here and see what's out here.
And so we walked a little further, then we saw these deer tracks, and then we saw this big hole, so that means that a deer was here and it slept here.
Yep.
Right in this big hole.
And the heat kind of just melted that down. Is it pretty hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it walked all the way over there.
So right now we came up here and we figured out that we're on this timber company's land that has no trespassing signs and stuff. So once we turned on our GPS, we were kind of trying to get to the edge of their property line, but kind of goes down pretty steep, and I'm like, I think we're gonna go back to the truck, drive somewhere else, because to me it looks like the steep, nasty stuff is basically their property line. Is where we could hunt, but
yeah, and basically like all this mountain is basically their private property.
Yeah, and up over that it's got some nice open stuff to look at, and it's not ours, so we're heading back down to the road.
Okay, so we left his gun up there, so he's gonna go grab it.
I don't know.
And I kind of slipped. I slipped.
So hard.
Yeah. He's almost there.
That was nerve-wracking. Harder than it looks. Whew, my hands got cold. Alright, cut.
He's putting some chains on his tires so we won't get stuck in the snow. We're not stuck, but he's putting chains on it. And the other side. And we're just eating snacks right now. And we saw these huge wolf tracks. All the way to over there. So yeah, and we're off the private land now, and now we're gonna go somewhere else to hunt, not by the property land, so see how that goes.
Well, they're out here. I seen them sleeping a little bit ago. If they're starting to move, like as a whole species, that's a good thing for me, but it could be that they're just done with their nap. All right, so I'm out here with all kinds of mixed feelings. I took a offhand shot at a buck. I would say no more than 70 yards. I looked for blood last night. It got dark. Blood and hair. I couldn't find it. I'm out here today. I can't find any. That and the shot and how out of breath I was and how excited I was. It makes me think I had a clean miss. But I'm gonna zigzag down this hill, progressively down the valley, and you know, kind of down this ridge. I think, like zig it down, and then I'm gonna come back up closer to this draw, up the draw, and the only thing I'm weighing it against is like, how do I miss an animal that big at this close of a distance, even offhand? I've never shot offhand because it always feels unsteady, but I looked through the scope and I just seen the crosshairs just resting on his ribs right behind his dang shoulder, and I said, just do it, and boom, I just did it, and I lost sight of him. With the recoil, got back on him. I seen him turn his head, and he just hopped off. I don't know if hopping off is like a sign of a wounded deer or not. It's not severely wounded. I don't know how it could do it if I hit it in the hindquarter. I wonder, my one wonder is if I hit him in the guts and it didn't pass through, there wouldn't be any blood or hair. And I think he would. Maybe that was that pause where he turned his head and I got back on him in time to see him turn his head and then hop off. So I either clean missed him or I gut shot him. I don't think he could have hopped off if I hit him in the butt, but I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm not sure how I feel about hunting mule deer anymore this year. Maybe I'll throw away my tag or something, but then again, there's just no blood. But on this side of the hill, there's no snow. So, I mean, yeah, I wish it would have passed through or, you know, it just confuses me. But so no blood. One, the shot didn't feel good. He ran off like a champ. Maybe he's not hurt. Maybe I didn't get him. Next thing I would say, I don't know. I don't know what to do other than cover this hill and then think about what to do later. Should be some does in that picture right there. If I'm looking at the right spot. It's gotta be the right spot, right? Right above that, right there, dead center. There you go. One, two, three. There should be four. It's funny because they're zigging down the hill. I thought there was a different group for a second. Oh, there he comes. He's gonna break clear. Up there. Oh, I ran out of stuff. I ran out, I think. Alright, my truck's on the other side of that ridge. Basically came down that draw up the road around this knob, between that hill and that knob, came up the ridge, came up to this road, and this looks like the last road that's on Stimson land. So I'm actually good all the way out onto the mountain, and this little road should take me to the main road, or I might cut over before and just walk that ridge back to my ridge and then drop down to the truck. But it's been a fun day. Down there, that was the hill I was looking at with all the does on it. So I think I'm gonna come back out here tomorrow and look around and see what happens. Alright, I found these old cabins, kind of string of 3 cabins it looks like. And it's pretty windy out, it's not that cold. But I thought I'd get in here and get out of the wind. Let my sweat dry out of the wind. There's one more over there and another one past it. Before I head up this ridge, just take a break. I haven't seen anything. I've seen lots of fresh tracks. I just feel like I was out here an hour too late or something. I should have been watching the roads an hour before dawn, I guess. But followed some elk tracks for, I don't know, a quarter of a mile, but I don't know if it cut straight up the mountain because I was following it, or if that's where it beds. But I decided to keep going out here where I hadn't been before. But you know, things like this are kind of all over Montana, and I wouldn't say try to rebuild this because it's pretty rotten, but it might get you through the night and out of the wind. It's 30 degrees now, I believe, and probably be 20 or teens tonight out here. But if you could build a fire, clear some of this stuff out and build a fire, use this thing for a windbreak, you'd be in good shape for the night. Alright, I really can't prove it, but there was a mountain lion sitting right here looking at me, and then he ran off that way. But yeah, I know, I'm pretty sure those are his tracks. But I mean, less than 100 yards. I was just over that way. It was really cool. Just you could see him in really good detail. And I seen him, and I was trying to, he was like he stopped right here, and it was just like we seen each other at the same time. And so I set down my rifle and tried to get my phone out, and then he just turned slowly right here, I think in this stuff here and must have bounded away. And I was like, kitty, 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 come here, kitty, kitty. And he wouldn't stop. And he just headed off. 1, 2. Look at these bounce. These are like, this is my feet. So let's see. Left foot, right foot. They're good. Long pace for me, a long pace. This one's actually really long. Alright, so right foot's down. Left foot, right foot, left foot. Man, he really cooking. It was really cool. It was so neat to see something that close that you don't see often. You don't want to see, or do you want to see them? You want to know where they're at. But he wasn't that big. He was like, gosh, I'd say 60 pounds or something.